Is this the beginning of something bigger? Or is it the end of everything? Jungkook has finally opened up about the future of BTS and Taehyung, just days after Taehyung's secret Los Angeles project ended. Jungkook's words sent ARMY around the world into a panic, sparking an unstoppable wave of speculation. Will BTS stay together, or are there secrets that have never been revealed before? What was really going on behind Jungkook's smile that night? Why are the simple words he utters in front of the cameras capable of making millions of fans around the world speechless? Some even admit to tears. The global entertainment world, especially the ARMY community, was shocked by Jungkook's statement that came at the most unexpected moment, just days after Taehyung completed his project in Los Angeles. The biggest question now hangs in the air. Is this the start of BTS's comeback in full force, or a sign that something we never imagined was happening behind the scenes? That night, the cameras captured something seemingly ordinary on the surface. Jungkook, Jimin, and Taehyung sitting together at Baekjeong, a famous Korean barbecue restaurant in Los Angeles. Grilled meat smoke filled the air, laughter rang out from their tables, and the occasional hard-to-interpret gaze caught the lens of a lucky fan. However, for those who follow BTS's journey closely, there are different nuances at this meeting. Not just a reunion of three old friends who are free after completing their military service, but a meeting that feels full of hidden meaning. Baekjeong itself is no stranger to BTS. The restaurant, which recently moved to Koreatown in May 2025, has become part of the members' memory trail. In the past, every time they ate here, there was always a story that followed, whether it was a laugh, a joke, or a little moment that made the ARMY all over the world excited. But tonight was different. The atmosphere feels like a missing puzzle piece from a big story that's about to unfold. Speculation began to heat up when a short video recorded by one of the visitors began to circulate on X and Instagram. In the video, Jungkook can be seen seriously listening to Taehyung speaking in a low tone, while Jimin occasionally cuts the conversation off with a smile that, for some reason, looks a little holding back. At the end of the video, Jungkook says, "We have to talk about this before it's too late." The words, short but full of weight, immediately exploded speculation among fans. A few hours later, Jungkook decided to do a short live broadcast. It's only 15 minutes long, but it's enough to rock the internet. With a black hoodie covering part of his face, he began in a voice that sounded a little hesitant. "Many of you are asking about our future, the future of BTS, and also about Taehyung." At that moment, the comments column instantly flooded the screen. Hundreds of thousands of spectators tried to catch every word that came out of his lips. Jungkook then continued, "We've been through a lot. Everyone thought this trip would always be the same, but the truth is things are changing. After Taehyung's project in LA was completed, there was something we talked about, something that would determine our next steps." His tone sounded heavy, like someone harboring a truth too great to be spoken lightly. ARMY, who had been waiting for the full return of BTS in the spring of 2026, began to panic. What does Jungkook mean by formation change? Or maybe a more drastic decision? What makes the atmosphere even more tense is the fact that this statement comes right at a time when BTS is in the United States working on their new music. All of the members have completed their military service, and logically, everyone hopes that their focus will now be on a comeback album and a world tour. However, Jungkook's tone that night seemed to imply that there was something else lurking behind the euphoria of the comeback. In fact, some fans who were present around Baekjeong that night admitted to seeing odd interactions. One of the witnesses told that, outside the restaurant, before getting in the car, Taehyung stared at Jungkook for a long time, as if he wanted to say something but failed to do so. "It wasn't an ordinary look," the witness said. "There's a kind of tension, like they know something we don't." Jungkook's statement sparked further uproar when he closed his live broadcast with the mysterious phrase, "Whatever happens, you will always be the reason we are standing here." But remember, not all stories end as we imagine. The sentence was the subject of great discussion in ARMY forums. Some optimists think this is just a trick to build hype ahead of the comeback. But not a few are worried, linking it to internal rumors that have long been circulating, that some members have a different vision of the future of the group. Hours after Jungkook's live broadcast ended, social media turned into the biggest arena of speculation in BTS history. Hashtags #TheFuture, #JungkookLive, and #TheProjectLA immediately dominated trending topics in various countries, from South Korea to the United States, from Brazil to Indonesia. ARMY flooded the platform with their respective theories, some with optimistic tones, others with anxieties that are difficult to hide. There was one thing that made the speculation even wilder. None of the other BTS members commented on Jungkook's statement. Not even Big Hit Music chose to remain silent. This silence only adds to the tension. Are they making a big announcement? Or is it just trying to drown out something that shouldn't leak faster? For fans who have been following their development over the years, Jungkook, Jimin, and Taehyung's meeting in Baekjeong wasn't just a dinner moment. It was the first time Taehyung appeared in public after completing his project in Los Angeles, a project that remains a mystery to this day. It is known that over the past few months, Taehyung worked with a number of producers and directors in the American entertainment industry, but no official details have been released. The only clues that emerged were a series of photos that went viral on the internet, showing Taehyung on a set allegedly in the downtown area of LA, alongside several public figures whose identities were deliberately disguised. What makes this all the more strange is the timing of the dinner. According to one of the visitors who sat not far from the BTS table, Taehyung came first at around 8 p.m., followed by Jimin 15 minutes later, and finally Jungkook, who came almost half an hour later. During the wait, Taehyung seemed to check his phone many times, even went out briefly to take a call. When Jungkook finally arrived, there was a brief pause before they greeted each other. Not the usual warm embrace, but just a short smile and a nod of the head. The visitor also admitted that the atmosphere of the dinner was not as crowded as seen in the fan account photos. There were moments when they laughed, but in between, the conversation seemed serious. "It looks like they're talking about something heavy," he said. Jungkook's expression even turned serious a few times, and Taehyung looked like he was convincing someone. Returning to Jungkook's live broadcast, there is one part that is now a special highlight. Right at the 8th minute, when a fan asked in the comments about whether all BTS members would fully participate in the 2026 comeback, Jungkook was silent for a few seconds. He lowered his head, sighed, then replied, "We want to, but sometimes the desire is not in line with reality." This sentence was immediately cut by thousands of accounts and reshared with various interpretations. Some considered it a code of farewell. Others judged it as an expression of frustration with unruly schedules and commitments. But what gave ARMY the most goosebumps was his closing sentence. "Not everything we can talk about now. But when the time comes, you will understand why we made this decision." It was said decision that became the center of the mystery. What decision? Is it about the music or about the future of the group? Is it just one member of BTS or the whole group? Meanwhile, Taehyung remained silent. He hasn't posted anything on Weverse, Instagram, or any other platform since that dinner. Taehyung's silence is considered by some fans as a sign that he is processing something important. Some even mentioned that Taehyung had given a code in one of his previous interviews, in which he said, "Being together is beautiful, but sometimes we have to make difficult choices for the sake of ourselves and our loved ones." Over time, speculation developed in an even crazier direction. There are theories that Taehyung's project in LA is actually a long-term collaboration with one of the international artists, whose contract may affect BTS's future schedule. Some also suspect that the meeting in Baekjeong was a last-ditch effort to talk about the group's future before they announce anything big to the public. However, what makes all of this even more emotional is the fact that BTS just went through a tough period of conscription. They have promised fans that 2026 will be the year of full revival. Many in the ARMY felt Jungkook's remarks seemed to obscure that promise, leaving them in uncertainty on the forums of large fan bases. Discussions are getting hotter. Some fans tried to calm the mood by reminding that BTS is always full of surprises, and they often use moments like this to build anticipation. However, others said they were worried and felt something wasn't right since late last year, and in the midst of all this chaos, came a photo uploaded by an anonymous user on Reddit. The sentence immediately burned the imagination of fans. Does this final decision mean that Taehyung's global project announcement will temporarily put him out of the group's activities? Or something more drastic like a delayed comeback? On the other hand, some ARMY chose to see all this as a genius marketing strategy. They reminded that BTS had used similar means in the past, building mysterious narratives before releasing major projects. However, this time the taste was different. Jungkook's tone of voice in his live broadcast was not just teasing, but like someone who was preparing the audience for news that was not easy to accept. Increasingly, this situation turned into a kind of emotional roller coaster for the ARMY. On the one hand, they want to believe that BTS will return with a full lineup, a new album, and a world tour as promised. On the other hand, the fear of other possibilities haunts even more, especially with Taehyung's silence, until finally, a photographer who is known for often photographing celebrities in LA uploaded another photo that no less made a splash. The photo was taken outside Baekjeong a few minutes after they came out. In the picture, Jimin is already in the car, while Jungkook and Taehyung stand facing each other. Jungkook is seen talking with a serious expression, while Taehyung stares toward the ground, both his hands tucked into his pants pockets. There was no sign of a smile, no farewell hug, just a look that hung in the air before the two got into separate cars. The photo reinforces the theory that this dinner was not just a meeting of longing, but a meeting to talk about something serious enough to affect their dynamics. And just as the mood was already heating up, BTS's official account on X uploaded one short post. "Everything will be clear soon. Trust us." Just 6 words set the virtual universe on fire even more. Soon could mean tomorrow, next week, or even next month. And for the ARMY already made anxious, waiting just an hour seemed like forever. The official BTS statement read, "Everything will be clear soon. Trust us." The internet seemed to explode. In Seoul, hundreds of ARMY gathered in front of HYB's office just to look for clues or just feel the same atmosphere as other fans. In Tokyo, some fans even made banners that read, "We trust you, BTS," and spread them on the Shibuya crossing, the city's bustling icon. While in the United States, a large fan base held an online live broadcast followed by thousands of people to discuss what the word soon means from BTS. Some interpret it as a code for the release date of the comeback album. But others worry that soon is precisely the time they have before the big announcement that could change everything. In Brazil, the ARMY created the hashtag #ProtectBTS trend that stayed in the first position of trending topic for more than 12 hours. They're worried that Jungkook's statement signals that there is great pressure from outside parties, whether industry, management, or international parties, which makes BTS have to make difficult decisions. Some even created long threads theorizing that Taehyung's LA project was actually part of a big contract offer that could have kept him out of the group for a while. In Indonesia, the ARMY community is busy resharing footage of Jungkook's live broadcast with respective translations and analysis. Some highlight the intonation of his voice, pauses when he chooses a word, to the occasional dreamy look in his eyes. "It's not the look of a person who just wants to joke with fans," wrote one user on X. "It's the look of a person who is holding a heavy load." This moment also made many fans look back on Jungkook and Taehyung's interactions in the past. Old videos started popping up again in the timeline, from when they joked at concerts, supported each other at award shows, to more emotional moments like when Jungkook secretly held Taehyung's shoulder after the two finished performing on stage. In the past, all that was considered natural and sweet. But now, their every look, touch, and expression is reinterpreted as a code or a sign that has been given for a long time. Some fans even mentioned that Jungkook's words on the live broadcast reminded them of one of his 2021 radio interviews, in which he once said, "I always wanted to be with BTS, but if one day fate says otherwise, I just hope we all stay happy." Those words used to be considered just an ordinary reflection. But now, in the context of his latest statement, it feels like a message that is beginning to find its true meaning. International media began to add spice to this narrative. Rolling Stone wrote an analysis that BTS is now at a major crossroads in their careers. According to the article, it's only natural that after going through more than a decade together, each member begins to consider personal priorities. The question, they write, will those priorities still go hand in hand, or end up taking a different path? Meanwhile, a Korean music journalist who has been following BTS for a long time wrote an opinion column that left his readers speechless. He writes that in the entertainment industry, the biggest decisions are often made long before they are announced. If Jungkook says they are making a decision, it means the process has been going on for a long time behind the scenes. What we see